People are turning down promotions, and it's actually a really big problem for companies. In today's video, I'm going to tell you why it's happening and what companies can do about it, if anything. Okay, so first things first, I saw this Forbes article and I found it to be really interesting because they're basically talking about people turning down promotions to take management positions. For the longest time, it's been viewed as climbing the corporate ladder. You get a role, you learn how to do it, you climb, ascend into management, boom, next step, profit. But people are not interested in doing it anymore. Now, this article highlights that 47% of people are now turning down promotions. Now, these are management level roles. So companies have middle managers, and these people are designed to help keep things in order, cascade information, make strategic shifts at the individual contributor level happen. And they're pretty essential to how companies operate here in the United States and globally today. But never in the history of working has this been an issue. People don't traditionally just turn down the pay increases, the title, everything that goes with them. But today, people are in fact turning these jobs down. Now, this leads to a harsh truth and a harsh reality that corporate America and corporate other countries around the world need to reckon with. And that's that Gen Z, millennials, and I'm assuming coming up here, Gen Alpha, does not want to be managers. Not like their parents and grandparents, not everyone. Now, some of them, of course, still do. The other flip side of this article is that 50% of people are going to accept these roles. But 47% of people turning down management level roles is unprecedented. That does not historically happen. Now, why does this happen? Now, the easy answer is priorities are shifting. Historically, people would take the job, they work for the same company 40 years, they retire, all that kind of stuff. That does not happen today. Company loyalty is dead. You can't turn on the news without hearing about layoffs. And companies aren't just doing it because they absolutely have to. They're doing it to make profits look better. They're doing it because they want to outsource or use AI. So company loyalty is not there, right? So people don't have these grand plans of working for one company from the time they get out of college till they retire. That doesn't happen anymore. And now there are shifting priorities where meaning is more important and different things that today, Gen Z, millennials, and in the future, Gen Alpha are valuing things differently. And because of that, that's part of the problem. But let's look at some of the main reasons they're turning down jobs. Now, the first one is work-life balance. When you're an individual contributor, it's a lot easier to achieve a work-life balance. The expectations are less. But when you take that jump to management and above, there is immediately a increased expectation on your involvement in your company, in your time, your output, all that kind of stuff. Many of you have probably seen the meme online where it's like, oh no, I accidentally became important at work. That is how it's viewed. When you take that step up, it's not just an increase. It's not just a title change. You are trading off free time and you are trading off often work-life balance. Another big one is the rewards just aren't enough. So if you're going to take this step up and you're going to have additional responsibility and you're not going to have as much work-life balance, you would expect an increase in compensation commensurate with everything you are giving up. And that is not the case. So you're looking at Gen Z and millennials and they're like, okay, so you're going to tell me I'm going to go from 40 hours a week, pretty comfortable job that I enjoy doing the work. Now you're going to give me a 3% increase, 5% increase, and I'm going to lose so much of that? No, thank you. So a big issue here is companies are not paying employees enough for them to want to take that step if they're not already motivated to do so. Another reason people are turning down these promotions is burnout. Burnout is at an all-time high, and Gen Z, millennials, they want to avoid that. They don't view this as the only path to success and happiness, and they're not willing to tolerate a burnout culture if that's what it takes. If they're going to be promoted, but it's going to lead to burnout, they're saying no thank you. They're not interested. Another big problem is there's skepticism about what management really even means in the organization. What are you actually going to be doing in this role? Are you going to be micromanaging people? Are you going to be breathing down people's necks? Are you just going to be doing a whole bunch of extra paperwork? I mean, think about it. If you are an engineer or an architect and you want to take that next step to management, well, you're giving up everything that you loved about your career. Not every instance, but a lot of times you go from being the person who gets to design, to create, to tinker, to all of a sudden the person sitting in meetings or doing reviews. And if the passion isn't there, a lot of people are just looking at that and going, yeah, no thank you. And the last really big pivot here that is different than the generations that preceded the generations who are now turning down these jobs is they much prefer skill growth over title growth, right? When you think about how fast technology is moving forward, a lot of people are looking at that and going, yeah, I'm not interested in just growing my title. I'm interested in growing my skills because I want to be marketable to organizations past this one. I mean, the candidates of today, they are under no false pretense that they will work for these companies forever. You know, the average time that an employee stays at a company is 3 years. So they're looking at it and going, okay, well, I'm only going to be here for 3 years. What's really important here? Me getting a title upgrade or me upgrading my skills so I can be more marketable the next time I'm interviewing, which I've been here 2 years, could be any day. So a lot of people are looking at that and going, yeah, I'm not really interested in that. What I do want to do is I want to level up my skills. I want to become more marketable and I want to become more dynamic as a candidate through the skills that I have learned on the job, not just a title. Now, we've talked about this being a problem. It is obviously a problem if you are an organization and you need people who are going to lead these teams. So if you're in these situations, what can you do? Well, the reality is you go through and you listen to all the complaints. These are things that can be addressed. You need to make sure that while it is more work to be a leader, you still give them work-life balance. Not paying them enough, well, that's an easy one. You know, take that lever, pull it, pay them more for these roles. In terms of title versus skill, you need to make them understand it's not an either or proposition. Yeah, you're going to have more skills, but we're also going to invest in you and make sure you're up-leveling your technical abilities to go along with that title. There are things that can be done if organizations choose to willingly do that. Otherwise, they're going to continue to run into a declination rate that is really high on management level opportunities and promotions. It's not just that employees don't want management roles, though. That's not the end of the problem. Americans are actually miserable at work. I read another article that was pretty shocking and I made this video about it. So I'm done here, but I'll see you over there.